From the WATE.com Digital Center, answering your legal questions. This is Ask Isaacs. Now, here's Lori Tucker and attorney Greg Isaacs.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Lori here, along with Greg Isaacs. Good to see you.
Lori, it's good to be here. Happy Thanksgiving Eve.
I was just about to ask you, are you ready for Thanksgiving?
I am not.
You're not?
No.
We're actually here to talk about the day after, and that's Black Friday, of course. 'Tis the season, well, for stealing. At least that's how some people look at it. And really, Greg, Forbes' survey shows that Tennessee is number 11 in the number of retail theft. And that includes organized crime, retail theft as well.
Isn't it remarkable that Tennessee is ranked higher than the Vols for both retail theft, we're number 11 nationally, and Black Friday violence.
You just did that, didn't you?
Trampling, shootings, and we are number 2 in the nation.
My goodness. Okay, so we got your Vols joke. We're going to move on. One glaring case when we look at statewide, and that's the Michael Kors store theft case not long ago, earlier this month in Nashville. This is a new store. It just opened not that long ago. Here we see, there's the video, surveillance video of a man and a woman walking in, gets a little violent there, taking all kinds of stuff from the store, handbags, thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And police say, hey, as soon as we arrest them, we're going to charge them with felonies. So let's talk about punishment for shoplifting. And I guess the crime determines the dollar amount, yes?
Well, the dollar amount determines the crime. And one thing, it's important, we're seeing, as shoplifting has exploded in the last 3 to 5 years. Law enforcement and retailers are trying to come up with creative ways. Now, under Tennessee law, it has to be, the value of the merchandise has to be over $1,000, 1,001, to be an E felony. And that's serious. You can go to the penitentiary for 1 to 2 years.
Wow.
And the more you steal, the higher the sentence.
Right.
Over 2,500, it's a D felony, 2 to 4 years, and it keeps escalating.
These folks, it is said, stole thousands and thousands, so they could be facing some major time.
They could be facing some major time. And also what we're seeing is people that are shoplifting repeatedly. Let's say, for example, someone goes in to a particular store at a mall, and they have you on surveillance, and they start watching you, and they know you're coming in. They aggregate the amount of the merchandise. So instead of 6 different misdemeanors, they total it up to charge you with a felony.
Put it together. And isn't that indicative of many of these shoplifting cases? By the time you're caught, you've probably already done it several times.
Well, here's, in looking at this from the perspective of the courtroom, what shoplifters don't realize, if they would look up, it's amazing the amount of surveillance videos and cameras that are in your Kroger, in your Belk's, your Dillard's.
Someone's always watching.
Yeah, and you'll know the answer to this, the makeup store down here, the chain.
Sephora, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Sephora and Ulta, and Ulta has had some crimes.
Ulta's had some crimes, but they've got state-of-the-art video. And it's funny, in seeing the videos, what shoplifters try to do is game the system. What they'll try to have, they'll always have a partner, 1 or 2, and think that they're blocking someone's view or the cameras.
Being distracting, all kinds of stuff, but it never pans out.
It's crazy. But the Michael Kors thing is symptomatic of what we're seeing now, and that is they're not trying to avoid the cameras and surveillance, putting tinfoil and bags of medical detectors.
Yeah.
They're just going in, breaking the glass, pushing people out of the way, and grabbing the merchandise and running. So really, shoplifting, as the statistics show, is becoming more violent. So Black Friday, shoplifting and violent crimes increase 28%.
And then you look at stores, and I always think about this. The folks who work there are often told, don't confront the person coming in. So, you look at protecting yourself. What can you do?
Well, that is a great point, you don't want to be a hero, you want to be a witness. So don't confront somebody. There's limits whether you can use reasonable force or any force in making a citizen's arrest for a shoplifter. So don't do it. Also another, talking about what the law does with shoplifting, and this originated in Knox County. If you go into a place that you're banned, they will put you on the ban list. Judges say if you shoplift from Walmart, you are hereby forbidden to go to a Walmart.
Forever or a certain amount of time?
Yeah, forever.
Now, let's talk about, before we get into that, let's talk about how they are able to enforce that. Can they really? Do they have a row of pictures? Are you in a database? How does that work?
I think both.
Okay.
But what they do is then if you trespass, it becomes a burglary. So it becomes a more serious felony.
Yeah.
That's gone all the way up to the Court of Appeals and Supreme Court, and they've said it's okay. That strategy, that prosecutorial law enforcement tactic originated here. And think about it. Your everyday shoplifting becomes a felony burglary charge.
You say everyday shoplifting, and I know, as a criminal defense attorney, you have represented different people with different stories, and, you hear everything from kleptomania to, people who do this over and over and over again, to during the holidays, you want to grab stuff, smash and grab. You've got porch pirates. There's any number of people who do this for any number of reasons.
Well, we want to be clear, theft is wrong. It's
Yes.
against the law. And what we are seeing, theft is estimated is a multi-billion, I think $3.4 billion problem nationally in the United States.
And obviously you're taking from the store, then that extra cost from their loss is passed on to us.
Right, and again, you start with the premise, don't in a weak moment or in kind of an adrenaline rush think, God, the lines are long, if I just put this in my pocket or that in the pocket or this is whatever, they will arrest you for something that's under $10.
I wish you could see our producers over here that we're all cringing. Like, who would do that? But there are obviously people do that.
And, for some reason, and I've had people evaluated, shoplifting can be an impulse crime. So if you get that impulse, say no.
Just say no.
But what we're seeing, back to the Michael Kors, is organized rings.
How prevalent are those?
Very
Because I know that goes into what makes Tennessee number 11 in the number of retail crime cases.
They are very prevalent, and I'll tell you a little personal anecdote. Bless her heart, my 84-year-old mother works at a retail store, and they had a gang of shoplifters come in. And they told discreetly all the employees not to engage and stay back. And they all watched the gang of shoplifters, and they hit the store right when it opened up at 10:01. And I think
Was your mother there?
She was there, and the management kind of followed them from a distance, and they walked out, got in the van with Michigan tags, and sped off. But it can be dangerous. So
Terrifying.
just know this. And we talked about road rage. A couple weeks ago, when you get in the frenzy, and it was interesting in the Wire reports when it talked about violent crimes, trampling is actually one, but it's amazing. We see people, and I've had cases where people get in fights and are charged with assault over the last Beanie Baby or whatever the hot thing is now. People are frustrated. You got shopping anxiety, shopping anger, but don't do that. It's kind of like road rage. Be calm, be polite. If you see that last Xbox and you make eyes with the other
Where are you
shopper,
going?
and you're going there and you're both diving for it. Just remember, it's not worth the cost of going to jail, getting arrested.
I have yet to witness something like that. Obviously we've seen video of that. We've seen cases involving that. But, that's one reason a lot of people shop online.
A lot of people shop online, and it's hard to get in trouble shopping online.
Well, that could be a story for another day.
Unless you use someone else's credit card.
Well, there's that. But, let's talk about personal safety, too. You talked about people grappling, they're in line, all that kind of thing. There are people who could grab your bag. You're walking outside. You know, it's good to hide your stuff when you make purchases, put them in your trunk, things like that. You see the police towers. Those make people feel more secure, but you can't depend on just that.
That's right. And you know it 'tis the season when you drive by Westtown Mall and you see the police tower in the parking lot. And you know, former Knoxville Police Chief David Roush, who's now the TBI director, shared with me some of the statistics, and it's amazing. Those towers cut crimes in the parking lot, the vandalism, like 70%.
It's a great deterrent. But again, you have to maintain your own personal level of security as well, and be smart.
And you have to be smart.
Yeah.
And Lori, that's kind of a good transition and a segue. You know, when you're walking to your car with all of your Christmas gifts and goodies under your arms, you know, you're vulnerable. And another scam that we're seeing is people offering you, watching it, if you drop something or you're fumbling it in your car, hey, can I help? You know, you want to be a nice person, good Samaritan, but my counsel would be say no. Because it's stranger danger, so there is
no
much
eye contact, right?
There is as much volatility going on outside the store on Black Friday as inside the store.
Let's go. Yeah, that's true. Let's go back before we end things, and join us at 5:30. We're going to kind of expand on this, but let's go back, talk about the fact that depending on how much is stolen, that's where your sentence goes. So say you steal $500 worth.
Let's talk about that again.
Yeah.
Well, one, you know, if under $1,000, it's a misdemeanor, but a misdemeanor theft, employers ask routinely, have you been convicted of a crime of dishonesty? People don't want to hire thieves.
Right.
So that can follow you the rest of your life. An E-felony, which is over 1,000, 1 to 2 years. Over 2,500, it's a D felony, 2 to 4 years. 10,000 to 60,000, a lot of shoplifting, a lot of jail time, 3 to 6 years.
Wow.
But remember, you go back where you were told not to go, the Walmart, the Kroger's, it's burglary, it's a felony. And
Serious
the
stuff.
other thing is, when security tries to apprehend a shoplifter, typically they just don't stop and say, I'm so sorry, whatever. There's typically a tussle, a scuffle, and then often you see people being charged with assault.
Yeah.
So, and I will tell you this, some of the most dogmatic victims are the people that represent the corporations. The Krogers, the Walmarts, they are there every court appearance, and when the DA goes, what is your position on this? Can we work it out? They say, no. We want to have general and specific deterrence. We don't want that person to steal again, and we want the message to be, if you steal from our store, we are going to make sure that you have a conviction on your record.
You're going to pay.
You're going to pay.
All right. Let's talk more at 5:30, shall we?
That sounds great.
Okay. Thanks for being with us.